I just finished my first week out of training at work, and it was an interesting week. I've only had one day off this weekend because I was having to do inventory at the warehouse where I'm transferring product out of down in Portland. So I haven't had as much time to film as I would like, but my new boss at the new warehouse up here in Washington wants me to actually work a normal work week. So my schedule should be freed up a lot more very soon. Finding camping spots over the last week has been a bit of a challenge as well. A lot of my favorite free campgrounds have been closed, like they have concrete blocks blocking off the entrance. This weekend has also been the first sunny weekend of the year, so a lot of people have been out in these more formal campgrounds and they've been completely booked. I've only been in town maybe half the time though, so it hasn't actually made that big of a difference to me. It's just when I am in town, I've had to get a little bit more creative. So I've spent several nights at trailheads, along the side of the road at turnouts in popular places for camping at turnouts. And a couple of times I have managed to spend the night at state parks. So that has actually worked out pretty well. I wanted to show you a few things that I've bought with the money that I've earned from Amazon after you guys have been clicking on my links. So one of them I'm wearing, so that is my red shirt here. This shirt is a merino wool shirt, and it's a little bit on the expensive side, but on the plus side it came with a free pair of socks, and also it's quick drying. It should last a really long time, and it replaces several of my old cotton t-shirts. So clothing is something that I've actually been needing a little bit lately. My old clothes are just wearing out and they aren't really that suitable for my lifestyle anyways. So I am slowly replacing my wardrobe with a little bit more durable, more functional clothes, and that makes me a lot happy. It's a lot less I have to carry around. They're easier to keep clean and they fit my lifestyle perfectly. The other purchase I made is actually kind of small, but it's very significant, and it's something that I've been really needing to upgrade for a long time. And that is my lighting. And I'm not really talking about the lighting for the interior of the car, I'm talking about more like flashlights. I haven't had a proper working flashlight in a long time. They're usually battery powered and I don't tend to replace the batteries, so they just sit in my car for ages and I forget about them. I've been seeing a lot of people out here have been using headlamps, and so I thought I might try one out and see how that goes. So this is the headlamp that I ended up with. It's made by Lepro. According to the sticker, it's actually manufactured in Ireland, so that's kind of interesting. But it's just a very simple light. It came in a pack of 2 actually, I think for $10. They're very inexpensive. They're rechargeable by USB under here. And they have 2 buttons on top. And I can show you really quick what they do. Turn it a little bit away from the camera so it doesn't blind it. But the left button here turns on these lights on the side. So this is a red light mode. So you can use this either for marking where you are, like if you're walking down the side of the road, or if you don't want to mess up your night vision, you can also turn on the red lights. The other thing that button does is it flashes red and green like that. So again, this is probably for just marking where you are. Say if you're riding a bike or something and you want people to see you. So this button here is the main headlight. So it has a low mode that looks like that. It looks kind of funny on the camera, but I think that is just because it's switching on and off very quickly. Can't see that in reality. If you press it twice, you get a higher mode. If you press it 3 times, it turns on these white lights that they're not as bright, much more diffuse light. If you're in a campground, this is actually really nice so you don't blind other campers around you. And that also has a low and high setting like that. And you may notice if you leave it on a setting for a while and press that right button again, it turns itself off. And that's actually really handy when you're actually using it, not so much when you're demonstrating it. You don't have to cycle through all the different options of lighting every time you want to turn your headlamp on and off. The other cool thing is that you can combine them, so you can have that headlamp with some red marker lights if you want, or you can have it flashing as well. So any combination of the lights actually works. So I've actually been using this for almost a month now, I think, and it's been a really handy tool. They actually fit in my pocket, so I actually carry them with me quite a bit of the time. And so if I'm at a campground where I need to go find the bathroom before I go to bed at night, I can just pull this out, put it on, and go find the bathroom. Also frequently, if I'm just looking for something really quick in my car at night, I can just turn on the headlamp and not have to use the power bank. None of the things I've shown you today are the most significant purchase I've made though. That is sitting in a box at my mailbox, which unfortunately is not open on a Sunday. I found that having a normal weekend like this actually makes life more difficult for me. It's kind of nice in some ways. I can actually do things with other people, maybe when I have time. But doing things like getting my mail can be a little bit more challenging since they're only open a few hours on Saturday and not at all on Sunday. And this is not something I've ever had a problem with before. But since I've been in Portland so much, I haven't had a chance to actually get my mail. I'm actually going to be back and forth between Portland and Seattle again this week. I've been splitting my time basically between a hotel room in Portland and doing car life up here in Seattle. So it's kind of been an interesting adventure, but things should be settling down here as we get more product up here in Seattle and as we start actually making deliveries and I start working a more normal schedule again. It's going to be a few months before this job kind of settles down, but I've been getting a lot of overtime in and the pay has been really good. So anyways, that's all that's been going on. I will see you next week.